how to make the perfect cup of coffee out of the back of a car.
What's going on, guys? I'm Boogie. I'm back with another review of something that I have searched a long time for. The morning time when I'm out, well, let me start here. When I'm out backpacking, the morning is like the most special time, especially if I had a great night's sleep. And the first thing that I think about, I won't talk about. The second thing that I think about is breakfast and that great cup of coffee that comes with it. And I started off using those those instant coffees that come in the pack. It's been a while since I used them. I can't even think of the name of them, but I'm sure a lot of you used them, and they're absolutely horrible. They're just watered down. You have to use like at least two. I like my coffee a little strong, so I have to use at least 2 packs for them to actually make any sense to me. And even then, they still don't have a lot of flavor. And I'm all, for some reason, I became a coffee snob, and being out there with a great cup of coffee is like really awesome. Which brings me to something that not a lot of people talk about, especially out in the backcountry, because it has a little bit of weight to it, and to some, the practicality is it doesn't make sense for them. To me, for the type of trips that I do, and being that 90% of the trips that I do are solo, it's that one creature comfort that I have when I go out there, and that the Cafflano press. This is pretty much an all-in-one coffee press, and it's designed for travel. And I can, attest to, I have traveled with it, so it is definitely packable. It's not the lightest thing in the world, and I'm going to get to the pros and cons of this particular, to this coffee press. But my opinion, the pros to this outweigh the cons to me. There's going to be a lot of people that's going to highly debate that, especially if this is not for anyone that's doing a through hike. It's because if you're really into counting your grams, this isn't it. And we can get into talking about some weight. This is the unit. It comes in this nice travel case. It has a little bit of padding to it. Mostly it's just to keep it kind of sanitary to a point. Taken out in the woods, and I'm talking about sanitary. Okay, but it actually, when I'm talking about that need, it's actually just keeping it off of the stuff in your pack, from coffee residue and what have you. So let's pull some things in, and we are. Can we get this in there? Could probably get it in there a little bit. We could talk about some things, and we can look at it. And I'm set up on pounds and ounces. So it's that topping in at 11 ounces, huh? It's topping in at 11 ounces with the case. 8.5 when it comes down to without the case. This unit is really, really neat. This is it in its compressed storage state. It has a top with a gasket on it, so the whole sealed, because this works, and it works 2 ways. You could do a hot brew or a cold brew. So you can, if you're doing a cold brew, you're in cold coffee. You could, put your grounds in, your water, seal it up, throw it in your pack and go. Or if you just are sitting around camp, Same difference there. Here's the top of the unit. This is where you fill in grounds and your water. It is a wire mesh filtering system. You can put another filter on top of this to stop the grounds from clogging this up when it comes down to cleaning. Really, to me, that's the only thing it's good for. But when you're out in the back country itself, that's just one more thing to fiddle with. This holds about how much? This, by the way, everything, this is what I'm pulling in right now. This is the cook set that I have when I go out all the time. This is my cutlery. It's made by Esbit. It's a 3-piece set. This is my Optimus Weekender, and this is my Esbit stove. This is my cook kit. This is what I roll with. I throw a couple of Esbit tablets in there. The fuel, I put about 4 in there. That's about 4 meals, it's 4 cooked meals depending on what I'm doing. And I try to get 2 for 1, 2 items out of it. So if I'm eating oatmeal in the morning, I'll boil enough water to get oatmeal and coffee out of it. Different video though. I'll get that out of the way. But this is what I use to make my coffee in. Slide this out of the way for a second. So I usually top this off at about 400 milliliters. So that's a little bit under 16 ounces. That's like the perfect range to fill this up and then still have water left over. And the reason why I have water, I do it this way, is because this doesn't make a huge cup of coffee. So I make this really strong, then I add it back in to the water and mix it up, and it makes the perfect cup of coffee. Trust me, I'm going to do that right now. Instead of me doing everything I would do in the backcountry, I'm going to save all of that. But right now I'm sitting at 400 milliliters. And this is kind of what it looks like when I'm out there. I have my baggie of my coffee ground. I usually go to the farmer's market and, you know, just pick up different coffee beans, different flavored coffee beans, because at this point I am traveling lighter. So I may have some sugar with me, but usually I'm drinking the coffee black. I don't worry about cream or anything. Coffee just tends to taste magical without any of that stuff out there with the fresh air and all that. I don't know what it is about it. I usually put about 2.5 scoops. So yeah, that's about right. So I put about 2.5 scoops of hot water, of grounds in, filling and then you let that sit for 5 minutes. So I'll come back and talk to you in 5 minutes about it. All right, we're back at it. I'm going to make one change, and that's just sliding this off camera and bringing in a clear cup so we can see how this brews exactly. This is the rest of the water that was left in my cook set, and we are done brewing now. Really simple process from here. And apparently the dogs hear something outside. But there, ladies and gentlemen, is your coffee.